Hello all. So I wanted to do a video about the BCBA changes that are coming in January 1st of 2022. I previously did a video about the fieldwork requirements that are going to take place in January of 2022, but I wanted to go over the coursework requirements for becoming a BCBA in 2022. For those of you who have not seen my video about the fieldwork requirements for 2022, I'll put that video in the description below. I'll also insert that video into this video right now. Now, the major changes that are taking place center around the coursework requirements and the fieldwork requirements. So the fieldwork requirements for January of 2022 is as follows. 2,000 hours of supervised field work and 1,500 hours of concentrated supervised field work. So what is the difference between the two? Supervised field work, 2,000 hours, a minimum of 20 hours and a maximum of 130 hours per month. Number of contacts, 4. Number of observations, 1. 5% of hours must be supervised hours. 50% of supervised hours must be individual. Group supervision hours may not exceed 50. At least 60% of supervised fieldwork must be spent in unrestricted activities. Concentrated supervised fieldwork, 1,500 hours. A minimum of 20 hours and a maximum of 130 hours per month. Number of contacts, 6. A number of observations, 1. 10% of hours must be supervised hours per supervisory period. At least 50% of supervised hours must be individual. Group hours may not exceed 50%. At least 60% of supervised fieldwork must be spent in unrestricted activities. So the difference between the two is that concentrated supervised field work requires 500 hours less than supervised field work. It also requires 2 more contacts per month. It also requires 5% more supervised hours per month. So the simple explanation here is that it requires less hours to do concentrated supervised field work, but you're getting more supervision in concentrated supervised field work. So how does this differ from the supervised field work requirements now? Well, as of right now, there are 3 categories of field work that you can qualify to become a BCBA. That is through supervised independent field work, practicum, and intensive practicum. Supervised independent field work requires 1,500 hours. Practicum requires 1,000 hours, and intensive practicum requires 750 hours. So currently, you are eligible to become a BCBA with as few as 750 hours in an intensive practicum experience. Now, in January of 2022, you are going to be required at least 1,500 hours of fieldwork experience. Beginning January 1st of 2022, there will be 4 different pathways to become a BCBA. The first pathway, you will get a degree from an ABAI accredited program. Now, ABAI is the Association for Behavior Analysis International. I will post a link to the description for ABAI accredited master's and doctoral programs. You will gain a degree from an ABAI accredited program. You will fulfill the supervised fieldwork requirements that I went over in the previous video. You will pass the exam, and then you can become certified. Pathway 2, Behavior Analytic Coursework. To apply for BACB certification via this pathway, you must have an acceptable graduate degree from an accredited university and have completed acceptable graduate coursework in behavior analysis as well as defined practical experience. If you are uncertain whether your degree qualifies, you can request a preliminary degree evaluation online prior to submitting your BCBA certification application. So what behavior analytic coursework qualifies? According to BACB, behavior analytic coursework must meet the following requirements. It must have been taken at a qualifying institution. It must have been graduate level coursework, either master's or doctoral coursework from a qualifying institution at which you were enrolled. It must have been taken for academic credit. You must have received a passing grade of C or better for graded courses, or pass in a pass-fail system. Coursework must cover required content outlined in BACB's 5th edition task list and coursework requirements. Pathway 3, Faculty Teaching and Research. To apply for BCBA certification via this pathway, you must have an acceptable graduate degree, have held a full-time faculty position in behavior analysis that includes research and teaching, and have completed defined practical fieldwork. For this pathway, you must have a graduate degree, master's or doctoral from a qualifying institution. Faculty teaching and research requirements are as follows. You must have at least 3 years cumulative of full-time work as a faculty member at a qualifying institution within a 5-year period. Your faculty appointment must have included the following teaching characteristics. You taught at least 5 sections iterations of behavior analytic coursework. You taught at least 2 of the following behavior analytic content areas in separate courses: concepts and principles of behavior, single subject research methods, applied behavior analysis, and ethics and behavior analysis. Each course must have been exclusively or primarily devoted to behavior analytic content. You must have taught this coursework at the graduate level. In terms of research, you must have published 1 article with the following characteristics. It is behavior analytic in nature. It includes at least 1 experimental evaluation. It was published in a high-quality peer-reviewed journal. You were the first, second, or corresponding author. It was published at any point in your career. Pathway 4, Postdoctoral Experience. To apply for BCBA certification under this pathway, you must have an acceptable doctoral degree that was conferred at least 10 years ago, at least 10 years of postdoctoral practical experience, and 500 hours of defined field work. You must have a doctoral degree from a qualifying institution. The postdoctoral experience must include 10 years of postdoctoral experience practicing behavior analysis, have been at least 10 years of full-time practice cumulatively, have occurred under a relevant state regulation or national professional credential. You may have held different credentials at different times during the 10 years. Required documents for this experience are a curriculum vitae, signed attestations from current or former employers, and a proof of the applicable professional credential. Now keep in mind, BACB recognizes past certification. If your certification expired within the last 5 years, you may be able to requalify as a BCBA by sitting for the BCBA certification exam. To be eligible for this option, you must also meet the following continuing education requirements. You obtain 16 CEUs each year since the date your BCBA certification expired. You earned the CEUs during the period your certification expired. The CEUs you earned must meet the BACB's current CEU requirements. For more information regarding the 2022 requirements, please check the BACB website, which I will link in the description below. For information on current requirements, please also check the BACB website. I also made a video about the current requirements, and I will link that video in the description below as well. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon with more videos. Thank you.